You pray, you work, you move through life, and yet nothing changes. The same patterns repeat, the same doors close, the same voice inside tells you, this is your fate, this is written for you. So you stop trying, you stop reaching, you stop hoping. But what if the problem is not that you are powerless, but that you do not understand what power you actually hold? There is a difference between destiny and the path to destiny. Most people confuse these two. They think destiny is a place they arrive at. But destiny is not a destination. Destiny is a direction. And the direction is written not by external forces, but by something far more intimate, your intention. According to Sufi wisdom, intention is the most powerful force in existence. Not your actions, not your circumstances, not even your prayers. It is your intention, because every action follows intention. Every circumstance responds to intention. Every prayer carries the weight of intention. But here is what most people do not understand. Your intention is not separate from destiny. Your intention is destiny in its earliest form, before it becomes an action, before it becomes an event, before it becomes a reality. It is an intention. Think about it. You do something, and you say it just happened. But before it happened, you intended it. You may not have realized you intended it, but you did, because intention works in layers. There is the conscious intention, what you deliberately choose. But there is also the unconscious intention, what you believe, what you fear, what you desire, beneath awareness, and both are writing your destiny. A man works hard his entire life, yet money never stays with him. He thinks this is his fate. But look deeper. What is his unconscious intention? Perhaps he believes rich people are corrupt. Perhaps he believes he does not deserve wealth. Perhaps he fears what wealth would make him become. So even as he works, his intention is secretly rejecting the very thing he is reaching for. And destiny responds to that true intention, not to his surface desire. A woman searches for love everywhere, yet finds only heartbreak. She thinks this is written for her. But what is her true intention? Perhaps she believes she is unworthy of real love. Perhaps her intention is to prove something to herself or others. Perhaps she is seeking to fill an emptiness that only she can fill, and so destiny, responding to her true intention, brings her experiences that mirror that truth. This is not cruelty. This is not punishment. This is the exact mechanism of existence. Your intention precedes reality. Your belief precedes events. What you truly hold in your heart manifests in your world. But here is where it becomes very subtle. You may have one conscious intention and a completely different unconscious intention. And the unconscious one wins, always, because the unconscious intention is closer to your truth. It is written deeper within you. And destiny reads that deeper writing. So the question becomes, what is your true intention? Not what you say you want, not what you think you should want, but what, beneath all the layers, do you actually intend? According to Sufi wisdom, there are 3 levels of intention. The first is the intention of the ego, what you want for yourself, for your image, for your security. The second is the intention of the heart, what you truly value, what brings you peace, what aligns with your essence. The third is the intention of the spirit, what you are meant to become, what you are here to learn, what your soul seeks. And most people live entirely at the first level. They intend for themselves. They intend for protection. They intend for advantage. And the universe responds perfectly by giving them exactly what that intention calls forth. which is often isolation, fear, and the very thing they were trying to protect against. But when a person's intention shifts, when they begin to intend not just for themselves, but from themselves, not just for security, but for growth, not just for advantage, but for alignment, the universe shifts with them. Think of intention as a tuning fork. Your intention vibrates at a certain frequency, and the universe, like an instrument, resonates with that frequency. If your intention vibrates at the frequency of fear, you attract fearful circumstances. If it vibrates at the frequency of trust, you attract trustworthy situations. If it vibrates at the frequency of growth, you attract opportunities for growth. This is not magic. This is physics. This is how existence works. Now, you may ask, but if my intention shapes my destiny, what about the things I cannot control? What about accidents? What about others' choices? What about circumstances beyond me? And here is where the deepest wisdom emerges. According to Sufi understanding, you do not control external events, but you control your intention toward those events. And that intention shapes not the event itself, but your experience of the event. Two people lose the same amount of money. One sees it as a catastrophe. The other sees it as a lesson. Same external event, different intention, different destiny. This is why the wise person is not the one who controls circumstances, but the one who masters intention. Because mastering intention means you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You have agency. You have choice. You have power. But, and this is critical, this power only works if your intention is true. If you intend something while secretly intending the opposite, you cancel yourself out. If you intend growth while fearing growth, you block yourself. If you intend love while protecting against love, you sabotage yourself. This is why so many people's prayers go unanswered, not because the universe is deaf, but because their true intention, their deeper, unconscious intention, is asking for something else entirely. And the universe, like a perfect mirror, reflects back the truth of their intention, not the words of their prayer. So what happens when you align your intention? When you make your unconscious intention conscious? When you choose what you truly intend, not what you think you should intend, everything changes. Because now there is no internal contradiction. Now your conscious mind and your deeper self are pointing in the same direction. Now your words and your truth are one. And when you are unified like this, you become powerful, not in an aggressive way, but in the way a river is powerful. It simply flows toward its destination, and nothing can stop it. According to Sufi wisdom, this is what is meant by choosing your destiny. Not choosing the external events. You cannot do that. But choosing your intention. Choosing what you truly intend. Choosing to align yourself. And when you do, something remarkable happens. The doors that seemed closed begin to open. Not because the doors changed, but because you changed. Because your frequency changed, because your intention shifted, and suddenly you are vibrating at the frequency of the doors that were always open to you. This is where the paradox resolves. On one level, everything is already written. Your destiny is fixed. The book is complete. But on another level, that book is written by your intention. Your intention is the pen that writes it. And as long as you have consciousness, as long as you can intend, that pen is in your hand. The divine knows all destinies, because all destinies are already written, but they are written by each person's intention. The divine is not writing your destiny for you. The divine is reading the destiny that you, through your intention, are writing. This is why intention is sacred. This is why the masters speak of it as the most important thing. Because intention is not just something you do. Intention is who you are. Your intention is your signature on existence. So now the question shifts. It is no longer, what is my fate? It becomes, what do I intend? Not what do I want, but what do I intend? What am I truly choosing? What direction am I pointing myself toward? Because here is the secret. When you know your true intention, you no longer need to fight destiny. Because you understand that your destiny and your intention are not separate. They are one. Your destiny is the unfolding of your intention. Your intention is the seed of your destiny. This is why the wise do not resist fate. They do not struggle against destiny. They simply become very clear about their intention. They make sure their conscious intention and their unconscious intention are aligned. They make sure their intention comes from their deepest truth, not from their surface fears. And then they move forward, peacefully, powerfully, because they know that whatever unfolds is the reflection of their true intention. And if they do not like what unfolds, they do not blame fate. They change their intention. But most people never make this shift. They spend their entire lives blaming circumstances, blaming others, blaming fate, all while their unconscious intention, often the opposite of what they say they want, quietly writes their destiny. And the saddest part, they never realize they held the pen all along. So here's what changes everything. Become conscious of your intention. Sit with yourself and ask, what do I truly intend? Not what do I say I want, but what in my deepest heart am I actually intending? You may find that your true intention is not what you thought. You may find that you are intending failure while claiming to want success. You may find that you are intending isolation while saying you want connection. You may find that you are intending punishment while believing you deserve reward. And when you see this, you have a choice. You can change your intention. You can align it. You can make it conscious and deliberate instead of unconscious and reactive. And the moment you do, your destiny changes. Not tomorrow, not in years, but in that very moment of true intention, something shifts. Your frequency shifts. Your vibration changes. And the universe begins to respond to the new intention you are broadcasting. This is not theory. This is how existence works. This is why masters speak of intention as the foundation of all practice. Because everything, your life, your relationships, your circumstances, your growth, everything flows from your intention. So the final question is not, what is my destiny? It is, what do I intend to become? Because your destiny is not something that happens to you. Your destiny is something that emerges from you, through your intention, through your choice, through your alignment. And as long as you are alive, you can change your intention. And as long as you can change your intention, you can change your destiny. The pen is in your hand.